Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the first full-length video of the channel. My video, we're gonna go through a full day of eating, we're gonna have a little gym session, and then I'm gonna walk through where I am in my life and my background, I guess, and how I got to this point. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.
Alright, today we're going to be starting off with the biggest bowl of yogurt you've ever seen, I hope, honestly. This thing is absolutely amazing. It tastes good. Macros are good. Price is questionable, but I mean, you know, we're all making sacrifices. Look at me reading that label. 2 pounds, it says. 2 pounds of just yogurt. Not to include anything else that I'm putting in this bowl.
Guys, I really just want to take a moment to stress here, this is not atypical. This is not me just putting on a front for the camera. I eat this multiple times a week. 875 grams of plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Alright. Beautiful way to start your morning. I highly recommend.
Disclaimer, I'm thinking about it now. If you're lactose intolerant, I do not recommend. I promise you, starting your day with 2 pounds of yogurt, if you're lactose intolerant, is not going to be it's not going to be fun. I promise.
All right, next we're going to go in with 40 grams of oats for like digestion and stuff. 41, close enough. Next we're going to come in with some cinnamon. It's probably going to be about all I have left. Beautiful. Some honey. I'll say about, let's just see where we end up, like 30? 23. Yeah. Do 23 grams of honey.
Alright guys, I'm watching this over now. Please be patient. I forgot a bunch of stuff and I recorded half of my footage wrong. This is my first video. So like I said, please be patient. I'm working everything out. I promise by video 5, 10, I'll be good. I'll have everything figured out. It'll be better, I hope.
I forgot to include this earlier, but I'm also going to mention the things I supplement with. So, I've got ashwagandha here, got some fish oil, great for loads of stuff, inflammation and whatnot, D3, you know, you can never get too much sunlight, and magnesium. I think everybody should be taking magnesium, it's super beneficial. And the last thing is these Shameless Snacks gummies. They're absolutely phenomenal, and they also have 26 grams of fiber, which is pretty much your entire daily intake. They're amazing. So today, before we get to class, we're trying Celsius. Great. I don't really drink Celsius because it makes me feel like a Fruit Loop, okay? I don't really like feeling like a Fruit Loop. I want to feel like something a little more manly, like a Captain Crunch. Those who know. This made me feel a little zesty, but I cannot lie to you, that thing was pretty good. For lunch, I had a delicious 0-calorie Diet Pepsi. Holy suffering, but like, honestly, worth it. Pepsi, delicious. Alrighty, for dinner, we're gonna be repping the salmon. Absolutely delicious, absolutely frozen. So, we're gonna thaw this out in a bucket of water, which I don't think you're technically supposed to, but it's fine, okay? I'm gonna thaw it out in some water while we go to the gym. Do not throw it on the counter like I did here. Do as I say, not as I do. And we're gonna pretend like we're giving this little fish its freedom back. And putting it in some water. Say, bye little fishy, I hope you're having a good time. It's like you're reunited with your family members. Except you're not, because you're dead. I'm sorry. That was a bit much. I'm sorry. And I put it upside down. Honestly, we're just going to leave it. I think it's funny. So yeah. We're going to get this fish thawed. We're going to hit some back and buys at the gym. And we're going to have a great night. But first, we're going to have a little pre-gym snacky. So, if you're not eating carbs before the gym, what are you doing? What are you doing? Lock in. We're having 2 rice cakes with 16.3 grams of honey. Absolutely delicious, just like these brown butter cashews. 180 calories. And I think that says 4 grams of protein. I'm reading it with y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna eat about 25-ish grams. Absolutely delicious. Oh, and look at this pretty sunset.
All right, guys, it's like 7 o'clock, so we're gonna go to the gym. Okay, got our snack in. I'm chugging my water. Yeah, we're in the back day. Heck yeah.
Real quick, we're hitting the pre-gym fit check. All right, don't mind the straps in the pocket. We got this sick Berserk hoodie and some shorts on, you know. This thing is sick, dude. Look at this. Look at that across the sleeves. Beautiful. All right, starting off here, we're gonna go in with some neutral grip D-handle lat pull downs. Okay. These are honestly the only reason I did them with the D handles instead of what I usually do is because I couldn't find the attachment, and like the one I could use like didn't fit onto this, so I was just grinding with the D handles. They were already there. I'm like, all right, I took inspiration. You'll see it's taking me absolutely forever. Your back should always be stronger than your grip, so if it takes an extra minute to set it up, oh well worth it in my opinion. Now, this is the same exercise, but I just thought this would be an interesting angle to record from, so enjoy. Alrighty, this is me doing my Bayesian curls. I swear to God, I did 2 sets per arm, but for whatever reason, every single thing that every single recording that I tried to set up, it got messed up. The recording stopped. I was recording the ground. Something happened. So, I'm sorry, this is all I have. Alright, moving along here to my second bicep movement of the day. You have they're like straight bar cable curls. I promise they're so good. You tuck your elbows in your hips, all right, and you will get like, oh my god, the pump on this, insane. The contraction, absolutely nuts. But it will make you feel incredibly weak because you can't really swing, you can't use momentum, nothing, because you're planted. Amazing, bro. 10 out of 10 would recommend for biceps. I also did 2 sets of this, but unfortunately my recording got messed up. Alright, here I'm doing my primary forearm exercise, and oh my god, let me tell you, this one is absolutely fantastic. I recommend it to anybody who wants to have big beefy forearms, okay? My forearms might not be my strong suit, but I'm telling you, these feel so good. Some say it's a little sus. Alright, maybe that's why I chose it. Okay, you just sit your butt down on your heels, you brace, and you crank out like 130 pounds just on your fingertips. I'm telling you, it just feels good, it's stable, it's braced, you can move a lot of weight, it's amazing. Alright, here we got the post-gym, whatever, little posing session, okay? And I don't want to hear any comments about my weight around the midsection. I'm working on it, okay? We're gonna hit a front double bi. Alright, half decent. You know, those lats are coming out to the side. Oh, we're hitting the chest. Alright, don't know why. I didn't hit chest today. Little lat spread, absolutely tiny. Cannot see anything. Alright,
Hold on though. We're gonna hit the lat spread from the back. Oh, never mind. Back and double by. That's half decent. I won't lie. Now here's me doing a little gymnastics routine of something I saw on TikTok. See if it's any different. It's absolutely the same. Who would have thought? We're gonna hit a little forearm flex, okay? Forearms are half decent. We're gonna show them off, okay? Bring them nice and close. Ooh, 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 terrible. All right, we're gonna bring it right in front of the camera. That is what those wrist curls will do to you. They'll get them nice and big. Oh, we're not gonna show this part. PG-13.
All right, here we have our beautifully cooked salmon that I'm gonna pair with a protein shake that I bought from the gym because honestly, it's not flashy. This is supposed to be average in what I usually eat. It's not super flashy. It's just kind of lazy. And you know what? That's
Alright,
okay.
If you made it this far in the video, thanks for sticking with me. For this next part, I'm going to kind of break down how I got here. I'm gonna kind of go through my history with lifting and how I got started and all that. When I was a kid, I used to be pretty skinny. When I say kid, I mean like elementary school, I was an early bloomer, so I started going through puberty about 4th grade, and as I started to go through puberty, you hear it everywhere, the older people in your life, your parents, your relatives, everything say, oh, he's a growing young man, he needs more food, whatever, okay. Let's just say I took that very close to heart, so come 5th grade, 6th grade, I was packing on the weight. I think I was over 200 pounds by 7th grade. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, like 100% because I don't remember. But I was a big boy. Like I said, I was an early bloomer, so I was like 5'10" and at least 200 pounds in 7th grade, which is like ridiculous. 8th grade came, my growth spurt just kind of like peaking. My weight did not. I was packing that weight on. Okay, I feel like I should also state, halfway through my 7th grade year was when COVID happened. So, I probably like many other people, I put that weight on, okay? I put it on. My peak weight was somewhere between 275 and 280 pounds. I never weighed myself in at 280. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but I never caught it on the scale. It's probably around there now. And so I'm about this weight from 8th grade and then like halfway through 9th grade. And by the time I'm a freshman in high school, I'm just like absolutely sick of the way I look. I'm sick of being unathletic and overweight, miserable. And I was not having a good time. And I got a realization in my head. I'm like, I've tried this before. I do 20 push-ups in my room, and then I give up. Or I'll, throw around some weights in my basement for 3 days, and then I'll give up. Because, honestly, it wasn't even 100% just, like, not wanting to do it. Sometimes I would just forget, okay? I do a day, and I forget, and then the next day I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And then I'll forget again. And then I'll forget again. And then I'll finally remember, and I'm like, you know what? I've already skipped 2 days. Like, I'm just gonna give up. So, I finally come to the realization, wait a minute, if I weigh so much, I could just like actually exercise, I could actually stick to it, and it'll actually work. Imagine that. So, I start putting in the work. I've got like this 3-day split that I found on Instagram. It was like a push-pull legs. And that's what I ran. I ran a Monday push, Wednesday pull, Friday legs. And I did that for 3 months, because I remember it was January. Just like everyone else, I had the New Year's resolution, I'm gonna get in shape. And I realized if you actually stick to it, it'll work. But you have to be consistent. So I started doing it. I started lifting weights 3 days a week for about 3 months. And then I was talking to my dad, and I was like, Dad, I want protein powder. I want to get stronger. I want to lose this weight. All this stuff. And he was like, bruh, you gotta stop. You have to stop eating like a moron and an absolute pig. And you gotta figure that out first. And then you can add the protein powder in, because the protein powder is not gonna fix all your problems. And I was like, alright. So I'm looking up videos on TikTok, whatever. I'm like, alright, how do I, like what do I do? Because, I mean, you could always just make the argument, eat less. how much less? How much am I eating already? So I find out about tracking calories, all that stuff, and that's when everything really started. I was maybe somewhere between 2 weeks and a month into tracking my calories. This is in March, somewhere around that. And I look in the mirror, I look at my arm, and I can see barely anything. I'm sure nobody else would notice, but I just see like the slightest little line of my tricep, and I'm like, you know what? This is actually working. Like, I'm seeing progress for the first time ever. Like, I'm actually seeing the results of the work that I've been putting in, and that's what really, once you get your first little bit of progress and results, then you're locked, okay? And I was locked. I cut from beginning of January in, that would be 2022, January of 2022, and I dropped from 275 pounds down to around 180 pounds by, I want to say, so it took me from January of 2022 down to August of 2023, that it took me to drop this like 95 pounds. And so I'm like, all right, I'm at 180. I've been around 180 for a while, and you know, I'm sick of it. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna start my bulk. I'm gonna get some real muscle on, okay? So yeah, I started my bulk. It was, now that said, I was very like undisciplined during it. Not super, but I would get my protein in, and then I would just kind of eat whatever. If I was still hungry after the, 150, 200 calorie surplus, so I would just eat. So I was probably eating 3,000 calories a day, and that weight was packing on. Turns out it was mostly fat because I wasn't really as focused as I should have been. And so I ended my bulk, and I want to say like mid-2024, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta cut back down, but I have to do it right this time, and I have to take it all the way. And that's where I am now, in the big 25. So I've been cutting for year and a half, maybe. I'm currently at 175 point something, and I'm not stopping my cut until I'm at about 10% body fat. I might take it lower, because I've heard that if you get down to a certain leanness, then it'll be easier for you to do it again. Because like so I bulked up to 215 pounds. The first 15 pounds dropped like immediately. Like I hardly even did anything. And it was only after like the 200 pound mark that I actually had to like, really try. So I mean, and even down to 180, it took more effort, but like it was still pretty fast. So I'm gonna get down to at least 10% body fat, estimated from my scale, because that's really kind of all I have access to at this point. So I'll get down to about 10% body fat, which I'm currently at around 16, again from my scale. So that is scheduled to happen around, I think, early November. Like I said, I might take it a little lower, just to make it easier on myself in the future. I don't know for sure. But after I stop my cut, I'm going to maintenance, because I just want to kind of live life a little bit without starting a bulk, because I know that if I bulk, I'm gonna have to cut again. So to delay it a little bit, I mean, I'll still put on a bit of muscle. It'll just not be quite as significant. I need to just rebalance my hormones, my energy levels, everything like that, for at least 2 weeks or so at maintenance after I'm done my cut. And then I'll probably start my bulk. But for the time being, like I said, about 175 pounds, around 16% body fat. That's where I am today. I will say, about 2 weeks ago, it might be it was close to a month ago. Okay. Since about June of this year, okay, I was already kind of like a little wishy-washy. I was like kind of locked in, but it'd be the type of thing where I was eating 2,000 calories a day, which is about a 600 calorie deficit. But it was the kind of thing where I was at about 2,000 calories every day. Sometimes it was a little under, sometimes it was a little over. But at the same time, I would, I'd open up the snack drawer, I would open up like a bag of whatever, and we just had like 2. Okay, no biggie. Except I did this like 2 or 3 times a day, so I was probably in like a 300 to 400 calorie deficit, if I'm being generous. So it was going down pretty slow, not consistently. Once like June of 2025 this year came around, I was graduating high school and I went on 2 weeks of vacation, and my weight went from around 180, a little under 180, up to like 190, 195. And after that, I was, well, you know how it is. I was trying to catch back up, but I was still doing the same thing as before. But I regressed a little bit, so I was a little less motivated. And then, like, beginning of September, I'm like, all right, I need to lock in and get this done. I've wasted enough time. So I dropped down to 1,700 calories a day. I've been getting 200, if not very close to 200 grams of protein every day. I've been eating 1,700 calories, which is like a 900 to 1,000 calorie deficit, which is pretty aggressive. But if I'm eating 200 grams of protein, I should be good. And if I lose a small bit of muscle, it's not going to be the absolute end of the world. That's where we're at right now. Like I said, I'm scheduled to end my cut based off my current standings and everything at the beginning of November. Hopefully I clear all of that up maybe a little sooner, but it should be good in time for the holidays, so when that comes around, I won't be on a cut anymore. We'll see how it goes, but I'm not making the same mistake as before. I'm not going on a dirty bulk, and I'm not going on an aggressive bulk either. It's going to be a very, very slow and lean bulk. So that's where I am right now, and I think that's going to be all for this video. Like I said, if you stuck to the end here, thank you so much. I just have one thing to ask my very, very, very beautiful and loyal subscribers. Down in the comments, please drop at least one thing you liked about the video, especially if you didn't like anything, go ahead, throw that down there. And then at least one thing that you did not like about the video, you absolutely hate it. 'Cause I'm sure there's plenty. If I was watching this video from like somebody else's standpoint, I'd be like, it's buns. But that's just how it is. It's my first video. As I stated, it's not going to be good, unfortunately. But hopefully with enough videos over time, different equipment, different like scenarios in life, hopefully it'll get better and better, and eventually it should be something at least worthwhile to watch. And thank you. So thank you guys. If you liked, drop a like. If you disliked, drop a dislike. If you want to subscribe, go for it. I'll allow it. And everybody, do not forget to take your creatine. I'm looking at you. I know you didn't take it today. So, take your creatine, drink some water, go to bed. Have a good night, everybody.